Okay, so I'm cynn adereti, and my pronouns are they, them. I'm a Gemini. I'm non-binary. I identify as pansexual. Everyone's great. I was born in Nigeria, but I came here when I was 5. I come from a Nigerian household, very traditional place. Like, you have to do this because you're a woman, and my brother did this because he was a man. Anybody who has African parents kind of knows how kind of hard it is to like live with them because they have their own repressed traumas that they don't ever deal with. I knit. Modeling is almost basically a hobby because I like to do a bit of styling too, trying to get into it more. Riding horses, yes. Now taking care of horses, very much a hobby and what I love. At a certain point, I started to be very, very rebellious because I'm like, I'm not doing that just because, you know, you see me as a woman. Like, that's just not how this is gonna work. What does it mean? And what does it mean to like my parents too? At that age, it felt more of a rebellion than it did really like an identity. Like, eventually I figured out how those coexisted in terms of the rebellion and like identifying as a non-binary person. Even just in clothing, like I really wasn't allowed to wear anything that was like remotely masculine. No, you have to do this, you have to do that. Like most parents from the diaspora. I tried to tell my mom that I was non-binary and she hung up the phone on me. So there's a part of me that doesn't believe in coming out because I feel like coming out is something that society has made queer folks feel like we have to do, even though we should just be able to live the way we want to live and not have to really tell anybody and explain it. I'm never going to come out. I've been kicked out of my home way too many times to like bring someone home and expect to be welcomed. So yeah, the relationship around gender is really hard. It's kind of just, it is what it is. I remember one year my parents found out I volunteered for Pride and beat the shit out of me. That was fun. I fucking hate my voice. Do you have any activities or processes that help you deal with dysphoria? Not healthy ones, so we're figuring that out. But you know, at least trying my hardest to reach out to people who get it, and also just like looking at myself in the mirror and like saying some affirmations. When you get misgendered, how do you deal with that? In my head, and just be like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. None of these people really matter. But also sometimes it's really, really funny. If I could say one thing to the cis hetero community, lighten the fuck up. Explore the parts of you that you assume are evil in queer folks. You know what I mean? This one's a hard one because I don't really think there's a lot of safe spaces in this city at all. Like, Church Street can die. It's very, very white and very like cis gay man oriented. So the safest spaces are the spaces that you build for yourself. But I don't think there's like parties or like clubs or bars that I feel are safe spaces, especially if they call themselves safe spaces. Usually not the best and usually don't have all their politics in check. Chippy Nonstop as a DJ, amazing. Bambi, amazing. Lino Brown, all queer. If I'm going out, I'm going to something that they're hosting or I'm staying home. I think the most influential people for me are a lot of Black queer folks like Audre Lorde, you know, Tracy Chapman, who have really just like pioneered in terms of being themselves and being queer and loud about it, as loud as they could be in their existence at the time. You don't live as long as you die for. Even if you have to fight yourself more than you have to fight the rest of the world, like literally fight that fight. If you need to go to therapy, if you need to sit in your room and cry, this world is going to be against you no matter what. That shouldn't be the reason why you don't want to live and or can't live to your fullest potential. Find your family. You got this. Do you realize how incredible and beautiful and important you are?
Answer.
What? Do you realize how beautiful? I do. I think I'm great sometimes. It's really hard to like really think you're great when you hear so many things about yourself that aren't so great. But I think I'm a fucking pretty awesome person.